Okay, so today we are going to learn page number 59, soil characteristics. So I want you to open up your books, page number 59. Soil structure. Okay, students, so we can start, right? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so today we are going to learn soil structure, okay? So soil is actually the base of soil is stone and minerals that is broken up into small particles, right? And other we having like humus. So humus is actually, we already learned in our last class about humus. Humus is formed from the decomposition of dead plants and animals in the soil, okay? So here we having four different structure, right, about the soil. So number one, the first structure here. So soil, the stones and minerals. Yeah, just a moment. All right. So stones and minerals make up about 45% of soil. Okay. So minerals and soils, they make actually around 45% of soil. And stone and minerals come from the back down of the stone rock. You will see here on the graph. Okay. So 45% stones and minerals, they make up about soil, okay? And soil and minerals come from the breakdown of the stones and rock. Now, second structure here, second one, we having organic matters, right? So organic matters. So organic matters make up about 5% of soil, okay? It forms from the breakdown of dead plants and animals, okay? It helps give the soil a loose structure and help store water. All right. Now, number three, water makes up about 25% of soil, okay? It helps dissolve nutrient in the soil and benefits the growth of plant. So in the soil, actually, we having around 25%. It's about the water as well. So it actually help to dissolve all kind of nutrients in the soil and also helpful for the growth of plants. Now, the fourth factor here, that is air. So air in the soil structure, we having around 25% of air actually in the soil. So it provide, what does it provide? It provide oxygen for the plants and living things in the soil. So here you can see, students, on the graph. So we having 45%, they are stones and minerals, okay? Then we having 5%, you can see here, 5%, that one is the organic matter, right? You can see here, organic matters. And 25%, you already see here, 25%, that is water, okay? So water will actually help to dissolve nutrients, okay? And those help for the growth of plants, okay, students? Now, the remaining, we having 25%. here you can see. So 25% we having the air, right? So the air of the soil, it provide oxygen, okay? It provide oxygen for plants and living things in the soil. Okay, students, you understand? They have, in the soil structure, we have number one, stones and material make up about 45% of soil. Stones and minerals come from the breakground of the stones. Yes, then second one, we having organic matter. So organic matter makes about 5% of soil. It formed from the breakdown of dead plants and animal. It helps give the soil a loose structure and help store water. Third, we having water. So water makes up about 25% of soil. It helps dissolve nutrients in the soil and benefit the growth of plants. And the fourth, we having air. So air makes up to 25% of the soil. It provide 20. It make actually 25% of the soil. It provide oxygen for the plants and living things in the soil. Okay, students, you understand that for the structure of the soil?
Yes.
Okay, so these are the four important things. 45% we having 45% having stones and minerals, right? 25% we having water. 25% we having organic matters, right? 25% we having air, and 5% we having organic matters. Okay, so the characteristic of soil vary from local areas to local areas. Okay, this is because of the four main components of the soil can differ in their amount. This can affect the texture, color, and water flow of soil. So actually, the soil characteristic, it's different. It vary. Okay, it vary. It depend on different area, local areas. And because of these four components, the soil can be differ in their amount. Okay, students, you understand that? Four of the soil structure.
Yes.
Okay, any question?
No.
All right. So now here we can see we're having a bit learning activity. Okay, so we having we have to label the chart. I already labeled with components of soil. So these are the components of soil, what we already learned. Okay, organic matter we having 5%, right? And 45% we having stones and minerals. Then 25% we having water, and 25% is the air. So it's the composition of soil. Okay, students, four of them: organic matters 5%, stone and minerals 45%, water 25%, air 25%. Okay, so these are the components of the soil. All right, students, you understand that? Four of them?
Yeah.
Okay, now here. All right, so here we having we have to make like draw a mind map that show how soil form. So we already learned we having actually two forms, right? So one is that one is stones and minerals. So the cause is weathering, okay, and the soil base, and it's actually mixed and buried for a long period of time. So it actually soil stones, the stones and minerals, actually they buried for a long period of time, so we can have soil from that. And then the other part we already learned in our previous class. So like dead plants and animals, right? Those actually come towards humus. That's what we call decomposition, okay? And similar, the humus is also mixed and buried for a long period of time. So if the dead plants and animal will leave it for a long period of time, so it will convert to the soil. Okay, so this is the figure you can see here on your screen, the formation of soil. Okay, students, you understand that? Four of them. First of all, organic matter, 5%, stones and minerals, we got 45%, and water we have 25%, and 25% we having air. So these are the components of soil. Then the form of soil we having from two types, right? So one is from stone and minerals, and stone and minerals, that is what actually soil base causes weathering and mixed and buried for a long period of time. So we are going to have soil. Then on the right side, you can see like a dead plants and animals. So those because of the decomposition, that's actually we call that humus, right? And that's also when we leave it for a long period of time. So we are going to have soil. Okay, students, you understand that? Any question?
No. Yes. Uh, wait for me for a second. I not finished.
All right, students, you can write down. But if some of them, students, if you didn't write, so later on, you can have the video of our today class. You can watch that and you can complete. So after this, we are going to learn about the types and characteristic of plant growth.
Finish. I'm not finished.
Okay. All right.
I'm
So
not finished.
there are two forms of the soil. You can see here like stones and minerals, soil base, weathering is the cause of that, and mixed and buried for a long period of time. So we're going to have the form of soil. Then the second one, we have like a dead plants and animals. So because of the decomposition, it's humus. And it's also mixed and buried for a long period of time. So we're going to have soil forms. Already done, students?
No.
No. All right.
I'm not.
After this, students, we are going to have some of the questions we are going to answer about the components of soil and the soil formation. Okay. Okay, students. Students, if you didn't write any of them remaining a little bit, so maybe you can watch the video later on and you can rewrite. Okay, students?
Okay.
Okay. Now here, let's learn about the the soil types and their characteristics of plant growth. Okay, so there are many types of soil which we can divide according to their layer and characteristics. Okay, so the types of soil actually here we have. So first of all, the soil layer, right? So the soil layer, we having topsoil and subsoil. Okay, then soil characteristics, we having clay, loam, and sand. Okay, loam and sand. So these are clay, loam, and sand. These are the soil characteristics. And the soil layer we having topsoil and subsoil. Okay, students. So this is the graph here. Now, first of all, we are going to learn the categorization soil by layer. Okay, so here you can see on the screen, you can see on the diagram. So the soil layer, they're having like a topsoil, subsoil, and bed rocks. Okay, so now soil occur in two main layers. Okay, one is topsoil and second one is subsoil. So these are the two main layer of soil, okay, which occurs. So now what is topsoil? So topsoil is found at the top of the soil. Here you can see the top one. So the top layer, that's actually topsoil. Okay, so topsoil is found at the top of the soil. It is loamy. It is loamy with big rock, with big rock particles, right? So topsoil is found at the top of the soil. It is loamy with big rock particles and is dark in color. You can see here in the picture also. So that's actually dark in color as well. So topsoil is a source of nutrients and nutrients for many plants and animals. It also provides a habitat for many plants and animals. So the topsoil is actually, it's very rich in the nutrients. Okay, so they have this is actually the high source of nutrients for many plants and animals, and it also provides a habitat for many plants and animals. Now, so this was the first one, topsoil. You can see in the photo on your screen, this is the layer, darker in the color and full of nutrients. Okay, now the second type we have subsoil. So subsoil is found deeper below the topsoil. Okay, you can see here the second layer, you can see it's deeper, it's deeper than the topsoil. Okay, and it is lighter in color. Like the topsoil, it was darker in color, and subsoil is actually lighter in color than the topsoil. Okay, with smaller rock particles, and they're having like a small rocks particles. All right, so subsoil is generally quite dry with fewer nutrients than the topsoil. So the subsoil is actually a little bit dry, that's a bit dry, and the nutrients source is also less. Like the topsoil, they're having high source of nutrients, but the subsoil, they're having less nutrients compared to the topsoil. Okay, students? Now, below the subsoil is bedrock. okay, which gradually breaks down to form the rock particles found in the soil. You can see here the third layer. You can see this is what we call bed rocks, okay, and and that's actually breaking down to the form of rock particles found in the soil. All right, students, you understand that we're having topsoil and subsoil. Okay, so topsoil is actually darker in the color and full of nutrients, which is the biggest source for the plants and animal. Okay, and the second layer, that one we having subsoil. So subsoil, it's a bit lighter in the color and the nutrition level is a little bit low and it's generally quite dry. Okay, all right, students, you understand that?
Yeah.
Any question? Anything you not understand? So types of soil, I'll repeat one more time. Types of soil we having. So soil layer, soil we have one topsoil and second we having subsoil. Then in the characteristics we have clay, loam, sand. Okay. And here you can see in the picture, the first layer, that's topsoil, we call that. Richer in the nutrients, darker in the color. Okay. Then the second one, subsoil, is lighter in the color and lesser, according to the source of nutrients, it's a bit lesser as well. And the third one, that's actually bedrock, the deeper one, that is under the subsoil.
Bedrock
Okay,
is in the micro.
right. Okay, students. Now let's talk about the three different types of soil. Okay, so you can see here, you can see here in the picture, the first one, we're having clay soil. Then second one, we're having loam soil. Third one, we're having sandy soil. So we are going to learn the characteristics of all these three. Okay, so first of all, soil can be categorized based on its characteristics such as texture, color, and water flow. Soil can be classified into three main types based on these characteristics, which are clay, loam, and sandy. So these three different type of soil we have, and it is based on the characteristics. They're having different characteristics and such as like a structure, texture, color, and water flow. So number one, clay. Okay, so clay soil. So clay soil contains very fine rocks particle, okay, and it is brown and dark gray in the color, okay. Water cannot flow through in quickly, okay. So water cannot flow through quickly and it has few air space. Clay soil does not contain such humus. Clay soil is tightly packed, okay, together and sticks to your hand when you pick it up. It is suitable for growing rice and other plants that needs a lot of water. So what we learn here, clay soil is actually, it's the very finest rock particles, and the color of the clay soil, it will be dark brown, either will be dark gray in the color, and water actually flow in that very less, okay. The water flow is not too much, okay. Other than that, the air is also, for air space is also very less, and it does not contain humus. All right, clay also is tightly packed. If we look to the clay, it will be like stick together very tightly. So for example, if you take that in your hand, so it will stuck with your hand. All right, it is a bit sticky as well. Apart from that, the clay soil is mostly suitable for growing rice and also some other kind of plants which need a lot of water. Okay, students, you understand the clay soil?
Yes.
Okay. Now, number two. Number two, we have here loam soil. So loam soil contains a mixture of sand and clay. Okay, the rock particles are larger than the rock particles. The rock particles are larger than the particles found in clay. As we already know, in the clay we having very fine rock particles, but in the loam clay we have a bit larger particles of the stones as compared to the to the clay soil. Okay, it is black in color. So that's actually black in color and contain a lot of humus. Okay, water flow through it well, and it water flow through well in it, and it contain plenty of air. It is a good soil for growing many type of plants. So what we learn here about the loam soil. So loam soil actually it contain a mixture of sand and clay. Okay. Second thing, rock particles, they are larger compared to the clay soil. Okay. Other than that, it contain a lot of humus, and apart from that, the water flow is also very well. Okay, the water flow in that very well, and the color of that is also very dark. So mostly it is very suitable for growing many different types of plants. So this is actually loam soil, right? Okay, students, you understand that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, number three, third type of the soil we having sandy soil. So sandy soil, they're having large rock particles. Okay. So the first one, clay, we having finest rock particles. Then the loam one, we having a bit larger than that. But the sandy soil, they're having large rocks. Okay. They're having like large rocks particles, and does not contain much humus. Okay, water flow through sand soil very quickly. Okay, so water flow is actually quickly in the sand soil. Okay, and there is a lot of air. Okay, so they're having most high amount of air as well. It is suitable for growing plants that do not need a lot of water. Okay, so students, the sandy soil, it is actually the having larger rock particles. Apart from that, it doesn't contain much humus, and the flow of water is also quickly. Apart from that, they're having a lot of air, and mostly the sandy soil, it's used for those plants those plants doesn't require too much water. Okay, so this is the third type of soil. All right, students, you understand that? You can see here on the picture, the color is also not too darker, and you will find a bit larger particles in that. All right. Okay, students, you understand that? Three different type of soil.
Yes.
All right. Now we are going to have a little bit activity. Okay, so the activity here we are going to use all these three type of soil, and we are going to grow beans in that. All right, so we are going to find that which soil is better for the growth of the beans. Okay, students, so soil type and their characteristics for plants. So what are the learning objective? Number one, experiment to make a conclusion on the types of soil are suitable for plant growing. So what we want to learn, that which type of soil is more suitable for the growth of the plants. Now, second thing we would like to learn, that is identify the type of soil and their characteristics that are suitable for the growth. So here we are going to follow some of the instruction, and we required some of the material as well. Okay, now we're gonna read and flow the instruction, then record your findings. So first of all, we're gonna read and all of the instruction, and after the finding, we will record down what we find with this experiment. So for every experiment, we required materials. So for this experiment, we required 5 different materials. Number 1, we required 1 pot of clay, loam, and sandy soil. So we required 3 type of soil: clay soil, loam soil, and sandy soil. Each of them we are going to having in the pot. All right. Second thing, we required 30 beans, the green beans. Okay, so we're going to have 30 green beans, and we required 250 cc of baker. Okay. Fourth one, we required a ruler. So with the ruler, we are going to measure that how much the beans they grown. And the fifth one, what we required, water. All right, students, you understand what we required for the experiment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We required 5 material. 1, we required 3 type of soil: clay soil, loam soil, and sandy soil. In each we have to put in the pot. Second, we required 30 green beans. Third one, we required 250 cc baker. Fourth one, we required 1 ruler for measuring. Fifth one, we required water. Okay, so first of all, what we're gonna do, we have to follow this direction. So first of all, we're gonna soak 30 green beans overnight. So we already having 30 beans. So those beans we have to soak it overnight. Then number 2, prepare 1 pot for loam soil, 1 pot for clay soil, and 1 pot for sandy soil. Okay, as I already mentioned, we're having 3 pots. In each pot we're going to put different soil, both loam soil, clay soil, and sandy soil. We are going to put them separately in 3 different pots. Then plant 10 beans in each pot. Okay, put the pots in the same place and make sure that they get the same amount of light. Okay, so in each pot of soil we are going to put 30, we are going to put 10 beans. We already have 30 beans, green beans, right? We already soaked that overnight. So 10 each we are going to put in each different type of soil, and we put it in the light, but we have to make sure that all of these 3 pots, they get the same amount of light. Okay, so now third direction, what we have to do, we are going to water the beans twice a day, 150 cc of water. So all of those beans we have to give water 2 times a day, 150 cc of water. Fourth one, use the ruler to measure the height of the beans in each pot after the first week and the second week, and then we record the findings. So we already having the ruler. Okay, so we're gonna put those beans for 2 weeks. So first of all, in first week we are going to measure the height of the beans, and we are going to record in each soil how much it grow up, how many centimeter it grow up. Then after second time, after 2 weeks, we are going to measure again the height of the beans, that how much it grow, and we are going to record the finding, what we find here. Okay, students, you understand that how we are going to do this experiment?
Yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes,
Uh,
yes, yes.
Yep.
all of you, yeah? Okay. Okay, students. Now, here the Zoom time is going to finish already. They give me the sign. Now, please rejoin again with me. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.